because you're made up that way. Your mechanism
Yes.
is one.
So, in this life, it's my duty to work as a healer and as a teacher. Then it's only in this moment, through the beautiful grace of the energy that I call Kaleshwar, that I can even pretend to serve in that role. What is my intent in terms of channeling that energy? Definitely my intent is to live in America, to be so happy in my life, to be surrounded by people, beautiful souls, all, who are also happy and living in the ways that they feel are their purpose. That's Swami Kaleshwar's message. Where is the peace? Where is the happiness?
But who were you before that? It seems like you had the same intent before you met Swami Kaleshwar.
No.
Oh,
I wish it was true. My mind and my ego would be so happy to say that. But I have to tell the truth. And that is, it was my duty to be as a healer and a teacher. But I was in the big misery doing it. I was using the wrong tools. I don't want to say wrong. I don't want to judge. There's nothing wrong. But it's like I was a sculptor, and I was seeing the David, and all I had was a sledgehammer. Then I'm destroying every sculpture, or I'm stopping so soon, and I could see there's so much more to do, but I know that I don't have the tool for it. When I finished my medical training, the medical training for me was so easy. I was so happy learning that information. On the one hand, the allopathic medicine, the physical medicine. Allopathy refers to the manipulation of physical energy in a medical way, with the intent being healing. Then very strong tools. The more dysfunctional the physical energy body, the more you need, in my opinion, to see the allopathic. If I have the acute appendicitis, I'm not going to Swami Kaleshwar, unless he's sitting right there, then maybe I'll say, hey, is it possible? But I'm definitely very happy to go to the surgeon. Thank you, can you open my body and take this thing out? Close it, give me the antibiotics, I heal, thank you so much, I'm really happy. However, 99.9% of what we call disease, the disease which is so rampant, it's plaguing the West, the suffering every day, the depression, what Swami says, the self-worthlessness, the lack of purpose, the aimlessness in life, the self-medicating with alcohol and with drugs, with crazy behaviors, the addictions, whatever it is, all of that is a symptom of a disease which I had no ability to approach as a medical doctor with with the best medical training you could get.
So what did Swami give you?
Then, first of all, he gave me the experience of healing in my own life. Then I realized that healing is not something that is only for patients.
So what was that experience, if you want to talk about it?
Then that experience was,
what was the disease?
the disease in my own life was anxiety. It was fear. It was a feeling at some level that I wasn't good enough. It was a feeling at some level that there was, one of the huge pathological states of belief is that there's a finite amount of anything. So if somebody else was happy, then somehow that made me unhappy because their happiness was taking away from mine. If somebody else was wealthy, then somehow there was jealousy because somehow it was finite in the universe. It's a huge lie, but it was my belief.
So the healing was?
The healing was not so easy to talk about because it's a process that's continuing. Am I free of anxiety in this moment? I'm a big liar if I say no. Am I free of fear in this moment? Then I have to tell the truth. It's not true. I still have moments when fear comes in. However, the healing was the breaking of a belief system with the possibility that other beliefs were just as true and could be integrated. Then it means that it's possible that love is just as true as fear.
So what were the tools
love is just as true as control. That love is just as true as what we think about in the West as power, which is a manipulation of energy for our own gain. Ultimately, love is a manipulation of energy for others' gain, period. Period. Not excluding yourself, but without absolute thought of your own.
So what were the tools then that he actually gave you?
He gave, see, we have to go indirectly.
Okay.
And I'm answering your question.
No.
The tools are not direct tools. If you try to go directly to God, then you're going in your own mind. Then the tools are, here, try this mantra, try this practice, try this meditation, see what happens. Indirectly, what's happening is there's a channel open. What is a mantra? How does it work? How does it work? It's a tool of awareness. It focuses awareness through a vibrational code. Any vibration generator, which is one way to talk about the soul, which generates a sequence of vibrations properly, will tune awareness, consciousness, experience to a frequency of energy like a shortwave radio. Then our beliefs, you could say our consensual dream, this is a chair, this is purple, I'm a man. These beliefs are nothing more than tools of awareness which focus our vibrations in a certain way, and then a certain experience comes, a certain channel comes. Then these mantras or these practices, they're not the end, they're the beginning. They're the beginning of understanding that there's other energies in the world. In this age, we share a reality which actually encompasses about 1% of the truly perceivable energy in this creation. 1%. The highest powerful awareness in the West is not in the spirituality. 1%. Then how do you get outside of that? You can't get outside of it unless you are tricked or fooled into trying something that doesn't make any sense. A mantra makes no sense to me. When I first met Swami Kaleshwar, I was not a meditator in any way. I could not sit still. I was always thinking, what is happening here? What is coming for me? I'm always gauging, is something happening? Oh, I'm a little bit better. No, I'm a little bit worse. Then he says, try this for 41 days. Try this practice. Okay. Then in that time, some energy comes. Then the experience of that energy is so short. In my experience, in 41 days of doing one mantra, which took me 1 hour to do, I had totally, to be honest, 30 minutes totally time during those meditations where I felt something I thought was happening. But the symptom was the rest of my life started to change. There was more peace, clarity, focus, ability to interact in a way that was joyful. And again, was it 100% 24 hours a day? No. Then if I put all that time together, I would say that it was 4 hours of the 41 days. But there's no denying, if I was being honest with myself, there's no denying that it was true. Oh, there's something happening here. Okay, I'll try. I'll do something else. Then what happened was, I found my fear wasn't so strong. I found my anxiety wasn't so strong. I found my jealousy wasn't so strong. Now, was I an outwardly fearful or anxious or jealous person? No. I was a person who others would have said was totally successful. Why are you going and seeing somebody like this? You have name, fame, relatively speaking, reputation. You have money. You have everything ahead of you. What do you want? A house, a car, a job, a vacation? What do you want? You can have it. It wasn't like that. It was an inner experience of these things that brought me to seek counsel like that. I was not looking for a teacher. I would have told you, I don't need a teacher. No way I need a teacher. No way.
But what about the practice, the miracles?
The miracles? Yeah.
And your observation as a doctor when he goes into
yes.
these states.
Okay.
When he actually leaves. How do you explain?
Hey, what are you writing?
I want to know what commanding the elements means.
Okay.
What 41 days is what you describe as a type of miracle.
Yes.
Your life is changing.
Everything Swami Kaleshwar teaches, you can look at as a technology. In fact, we should really be so lucky as to believe every second that everything we are in control of our own perception. 100%. But I don't mean that in a naive, New Age way, create heaven, like that. No. It means that our beliefs focus our awareness on channels of energy which create, ultimately, our perception of reality. Then Swami Kaleshwar is teaching us tools of awareness, which you'd have to say are supernatural tools. Then maybe it has to do with the way to use certain numbers. For instance, the number 41, the number 40, 41, like that. That's a sacred number. It's a powerful number that is a way of manipulating supernatural energies. If you don't believe me, do anything 41 times, or even better, do anything 108 times, and then be honest with yourself. Did the experience change as you got towards that number or during that time? Draw a happy face on a piece of paper 108 times. Try it. It's silly. Are you going to see God? No. If you do, I'm so grateful that you tell me, please, and maybe you can teach me how to do that. But the whole point is, it's a tool. It's a small little tool. Just like if you learn the letter A, you can't read, but you have to know the letter A before you can read. Then the mantras are ways of focusing on energies which are a letter of a new alphabet, which is really our birthright to use. Each person on the planet, each soul in human form on the planet is a master in incubation.
Like Swami.
Absolutely.
So Swami has somehow realized the underlying nature of reality.
Now, you see how hard this is to talk about. If Swami sits down in his broken English, or even if anybody sits down with me, unless they have an advanced longing, and they have an advanced longing, they aren't going to listen to me long enough to get information which is pragmatically useful in their life. Definitely it was the case with me. If I didn't see Swami Kaleshwar come and blast miracles in the room, really use a sledgehammer to break through my belief system, I could not explain what he did. Even though I could come up with some ways, well, maybe something's up his sleeve. I mean, I'm coming like that, but I have to say, there was enough doubt of my own explanations that I came back. That's one use of miracles. Miracles are big chocolates that hook your attention. For instance, I think me talking on the miracles, I'll do, but I think you need to get the tape of the miracles. Seriously, I think you should ask directly, Swami, please let me videotape you doing these things. 100%. Then, for instance, I'm going to talk about some of the miracles and what they are. Okay?
And what they mean, yeah.
One miracle is the production of vibuti, which is a Sanskrit word which refers to a sacred ash. It actually is a supernatural or divine vibration which is brought into physical form. It's a brand new physical form. There's a little more mass in the known universe. Whenever he creates vibuti, something new has been created to form. It's the softest ash you can imagine. It smells like roses or some other divine fragrance. Its fragrance is so powerful that in a room of 40 by 40 room, if he's in the center of that room producing vibuti, within a matter of seconds, every corner of that room is inundated with the fragrance. Then that fragrance transmits its own energy. It's a vibration. Again, everything is energy. That fragrance, that smell, causes the experience. Some people will feel, when they smell vibuti, they'll feel a shiver. Some people actually have the experience of hearing like an angel or seeing something a little divine, like a light or something. I don't know if they're crazy or not, but I think that that's their way of sensing some energy. That's one experience. Then touching that to certain places of the body which are receptive to supernatural energy. And what I'm talking now, what I'm telling you is coming, everything I know about supernatural energy, everything I know about true healing comes from Swami Kaleshwar, 100%, period. So touching vibuti to certain places on the physical energy body is like touching a portal. There's a little area that is just waiting, please, sucking the supernatural energy. Then it's just like it's feeding. Boom. The third eye, the crown of the head, the mid of the body, the hands, the fingertips, the bottom of the feet. That's one miracle. And definitely if you've received that experience, you don't have to even hear me say one word. You don't have to have any beliefs that make experience. But those beliefs are important, because if you don't have them, your belief system will regroup instantly. And within a matter of hours or days, you will come up with an explanation. And within a matter of months, if you're not continually given experiences of supernatural energy, you will explain it away. That's the normal state of awareness. Now, another miracle I know you're so interested in the miracles. So I'm telling you, ask
Practical
directly.
stuff,
No,
yes,
absolutely. If it wasn't for miracles, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
Exactly. So
No doubt.
People
I'm
need
telling.
to know that
Yes.
and hear it from a doctor. or
No,
someone-
no doubt.
Yeah.
Then another miracle is the apparent manifestation of an object into his hand, such as a statue or a mala or a ring or a gemstone. Then often that can be the creation of new energy, but it can also be the transportation through the illusion of time and space of an object from one place to another. For instance, there are powerful places in the world which are portals. And I don't mean that, again, we have to be so careful when we speak in English because the New Age movement has made it impossible, not impossible, but has really made our job so much more difficult. It's taken all of the words in English and used them in a way that is so crazy. Then the concepts are true, but the explanations are false. We almost have to come up with new words. But portal I like, and that is a place where the illusion of time and space is, like the veil is very thin, or the illusion of time and space, the folding of time and space is accessible. Meaning everything, the illusion of time and space is gone. All time is one. The time is now. It's a very true thing you can say in English, period. In a prayer, use that. The time is now. God knows what that means because it's true. Then the same, all space is an illusion. There is only one. There's only here. But wait a minute. I know people in America. They're here. I'm there. There's one space. Then one miracle is reaching through the illusion of time and space and grabbing something and pulling it into this time and space. So he can pull a place, he can keep, for instance, some objects in a certain place which has a very, you could say, thin veil. Then anywhere in the creation, he can easily reach into that place, and it appears that he pulls a mala out of and it appears that it came into his hand. Oh my God, it's an unbelievable miracle, huge. Another miracle is the apparent suspension of all life function. Now, this is a miracle that is easy in the West for people to disbelieve, because 30 years ago, yogis from India started coming to America in enough numbers so that a lot of people have tested them and shown that there is an ability to control the heart rate and to lower it very, very much, or to suspend the need for breathing and to not breathe for a long time and then come back. Then, okay, I've been graced by caring for Kaleshwar's body in a state of a deep meditation, of a deep awareness, which he calls samadhi or yoga samadhi, in which he says he takes his soul and travels energetically to some other vibrational realm. I can't tell you I know at all what he means, but I can say what his body looks like during that time. Then there's no sign of life. The heart rate ceases. The pulse cannot be detected either peripherally or with a stethoscope, listening on the chest. There's no respiratory activity, either by observation, palpation, or auscultation. Now I'm using those terms because maybe somebody who understands that that's the way we do this. That's how you are objective. There's no objective evidence of life. Then the skin tone becomes waxy. I've declared hundreds of people dead. I've watched hundreds of people die, literally. I've helped hundreds of people. Well, I've tried to keep them alive as they died, so maybe I wasn't helping. Maybe I was a big devil in that. I don't know. But I've been in the presence of death. I know what death is. Definitely, that's death. The first time I saw that, I've been in the room 3 times when he went into samadhi state. Then definitely there's a shift in the energy. I know that energy. Ooh. Then I'm checking his body. No sign of life. Okay. Then every few hours I'm checking again, which is my job. No, nothing. I'm sitting for a long time with his body, repeatedly over many hours. The longest I've seen this is 27 hours in a row. There's one thing that's not like death, and that is in Indian heat, 85 at night, 105 in the day. The room is 85, it's totally still. There's no decomposition. He's very dark-skinned. I can't say whether he has the settling of the blood. I can't say if he has the layering that you can age a dead body by. I'm not testing his joints for a good reason. I don't want to damage his body. One of my jobs is actually to keep his body completely undisturbed, other than my checking. There is blood coming, though. There is blood. There is some decomposition early from the mucous membranes of the nose, the ears, and the mouth. But then, the first time he did this, he told, I'd been with him for 6 months solid in India. I was relatively pliable. My belief system was relatively pliable. I was willing to pretend I believed anything and see for myself. Okay, I'll try. Then he says, I'm leaving my body. Okay, right. Okay. I'm so happy to be with you. I'll give it a try. Then he really leaves his body. Oh my God. Nobody else has permission to touch his body except for me. Then everyone's doing some meditation, some process. Actually, one other woman and I were the only ones. Beautiful soul. Then they're all in their own process. This woman and I were both going through a very different process. Oh my God, his body is really dead. He told us what to do if he doesn't come back. There's a possibility that he can't come back in. It's a whole technology of how the soul can leave and then enter into the same physical form. Very tricky. Oh my God. Then hours go by, then a day goes by. Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm reduced to sitting there contemplating my escape from India, you know? Seriously. Okay. He said, I have to be so careful if he doesn't come back. I'm sitting on the porch of his ashram. It's so hot. I'm dressed so inappropriately for India. Like I have just swimming trunks on and a headband. That's it. No shirt, shoes. Suddenly, there's a commotion, and I turn around, and he's come back. Oh, I can't tell you. That experience I never had before. I seen the bodies die. I never saw the bodies come back to life. Then it was almost too much. Meaning, the experience, many people have the experience when somebody close to them died. And I think some people who hear this, they'll understand if I say, maybe you've had an experience that was too much. Then your mother dies, your child dies. Like that. This is, it almost breaks your mind. It's not possible. They're not gone. For me, it was, he's not back. It can't be possible. There's no way, there was no way in my mind, it was too big a hole in my belief system to be closed, even with a veneer of a belief. There was no way to close that hole. Suddenly I realized I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. I literally couldn't stand. Like everything was spinning. I didn't know, I couldn't focus. What does that mean? It's a symptom of the belief system, the mind reeling. Okay, what is real? What is real? What is real? What is real? Finally, you see people, they grab the chair. They sit down. What are they doing? They're looking for something solid. This is a chair. Okay, there's the ground. Okay, I'm breathing. You notice people don't breathe. I had that experience. I consider myself to be very strong. I have like the huge ego like that. I can handle anything. I couldn't handle that. That was the biggest blessing. That was the biggest miracle. That was the most important miracle that I've ever seen.
Can you just move forward again?
Yes.
First you have to make the mind real before you can read instructions.
Okay, the mind has to be broken, at least in a crack, before it can expand. Just like the heart has to break before it can grow. So the miracles break the mind. Now I don't mean that in a mean way, and the word break is not the right word. I'm trying to think of another word right now. But the mind has to be opened. Let's say that. There has to be a hole made in the mind. You could say in a way, the mind is a cloud covering the light. But we need the cloud. It's a little paradox. So that experience, when I saw Swami Kaleshwar come back to life after being gone for 27 hours in samadhi, then there was a hole that was almost unbearably large opened in my mind. Then there's a retreat. In my experience, the mind's retreating. Okay, there's a ground, there's a chair. Then I have to remember I have to breathe like that. Then I looked at him. Then it was the hugest gift because that hole allowed me to see something else. When I saw him in that moment, I saw him in a way I had never seen before. My beliefs had been opened. I didn't see, even my belief that he's a man was gone because he was a dead body. Then suddenly, I could see him for an instant as not even a human being. Then I saw not exactly a human body. I saw an overlapping, shimmering of energy bodies, like angels, like a tapestry of cloth of different colors that are all transparent, and somehow all are energizing and informing each other's light. And I saw him as a doorway. I saw him as I could walk right through that. Like I could go through that. Like a sun, like a star, like a moon.
But also from a scientific point of view.
The scientific point of view had been killed, period.
But is Swami, I mean, I feel he's creating a greater science. So yeah,
Yes.
your science was killed,
That's
but
right.
there's a science to
Absolutely,
this thing,
and
though.
you're so right. And it's actually so important in the West that we remember that. In fact, the students working with Swami Kaleshwar with the highest success, and I don't mean success in a good and bad way, but I mean in their own lives, it is they're approaching it as a science from a strictly pragmatic point of view. Okay, when you go see a saint, what do they ask? They all ask the same question, 100%, what do you want? Then what Swami Kaleshwar is doing is he's giving you some ideas about how to get what you want, 100%. Decide what you want in your life, then use the greatest tools, the most pragmatic tools, the most effective tools that you can to get that. If you want to make $1 million, don't ask Swami Kaleshwar, although maybe he has an answer for you. But I'm telling you, and probably he does, why would you use your time? You can go to Harvard Business School. You can go study with some huge minds who know exactly how to make money. That's the way to make money, fine. There's nothing wrong with money, go do it. If you want to know God, don't go to Harvard to learn it. You go to somebody who's using different tools.
So what is the science? Well, if you can explain it as a
Okay,
science,
yes.
what is that?
It's a technology of spirit. What Swami Kaleshwar is teaching is a technology of spirit, a technology of the manipulation of supernatural energies. All is energy. We talked a little bit about that. Another way to go with that is all energy is aware. Or you can even go a little farther and say all energy is self-aware. The higher the vibration, the more self-awareness. The higher vibrations contain the lower vibrations within them. So, Swami Kaleshwar is teaching you the possibility of the awareness of high vibration. Then that's a technology. Just like if I want to manipulate the physical energy, the energy of wood, and I want to manipulate that energy into a table, then I use certain tools. I learn how to use the tool, a physical tool of a hammer, and another physical tool of a nail, and another physical tool of a saw, another physical tool of a ruler. Then I manipulate those energies. It's nothing more than this. I use the technology of hammer, nail, saw, ruler, wood, and I put them together and I create a table. Now, it's very easy to teach someone how to make a rudimentary table. You can actually teach small children how to do that. Some people master that and make incredibly exquisite.
Right, but getting back to consciousness.
Absolutely. In the same way, it's very easy to teach people to the rudimentary tools of the higher vibrations.
Well, name them as if they were hammers and nails. What are they?
Everything is energy. All energy is awareness. All energy is seeking ascension in vibration. All high vibrations, vibrationally speaking, higher vibrations contain lower vibrations. The soul is an energy, is a vibration generator. The soul is a magnet. These are all tools of awareness that I've learned from Swami Kaleshwar. These are all tools in a belt that you can use to manipulate, to create energy, an experience of energy. Seriously, maybe they sound esoteric. Maybe they don't sound like tools. But I'm telling you, in my experience, they are the most pragmatic tools. They're the most, I'm so happy to know these tools. They're tools available for everyone. because it's a beautiful point. Okay, I'm
See,
sorry.
everybody all the time is creating their reality anyway. You know? It's just he's clarifying.
Yes.
There are ways that you can start getting what you want and want what you have.
Everyone is totally 100% creating their reality. It's true.
Yeah, so this commanding of the elements is the soul is a
So
vibration generator.
yes,
All these
in a certain way. We've been karmically programmed to attract certain energies to ourselves and to, in turn, vibrate out those. Another rule, I'm giving away all my secrets, so please, anybody who sees this, still come to one of my workshops. I'd love to know you. But another rule is that a default mode of the soul is that you will vibrate, you as a soul, will without awareness, vibrate the same energy that you're fed. Now you're fed the energy that you're magnetized to karmically. So you come into a form, you're magnetized through all of your karmas to attract certain energies. Then, without awareness, you vibrate back out that energy. Then you see the cycle of karma. Where's the awareness? Where's the escape? There's no escape. And another beautiful teacher that I've had puts it this way, and he says that hell is perfect. If you play by the rules, there's no escape. The escape is awareness. What's it awareness of? It's the awareness of awareness itself. How do we magnetize ourselves for new energies? How do we magnetize ourselves for new karmas? We do that through experiencing new energies, because those new energies will, by default, come into our soul, and without our knowing it, become vibrated back out. And then we have a new cycle like that. The presence of a great master, the presence of a great soul. Why do you like to be around certain people? Because they're generating a certain vibration, and then without your knowing it, you are also creating that. Then if you stay in the proximity of that energy enough, you start just doing it without, it starts to become a dominant thing. Why do we like to live in certain places? Because of the dominant energy there.
So he gives you a chance.
Karma,
Say again, he burns your karma.
he burns or transforms your karma by overwhelming with his sankalpam, with the power of the vibrations, by overwhelming some of the habitual karmic vibration and setting a new channel for you.
And what's he doing for the planet then?
Well, I'll tell you, it's what's possible. It's definitely true that the dream of the planet, the consensual energies, the souls, there's another big secret. Everything is so obvious, but it's a big secret. That is, in the universe, the souls in human form hold all the cards. We are the vibration generators. We are the vibration generators. Then, with awareness, we can create any vibration. That's another little rule of awareness, another tool of awareness, and that is the soul in human form not only is a vibration generator and a magnet, but has the potential to create any vibration that exists in the God's creation, from the densest hatred to the highest, most divine love.
So
Period.
Swami commanding the elements, then...
No.
No.
Swami commanding the elements gets our attention. Kaleshwar, the channel of God, transmits a frequency of energy which allows the possibility of any soul in human form becoming aware of their possibility and their true nature as a vibration generator. Then it's up to you. As he says, it's in your hands. I'm giving it to your hands. God bless you. Good luck. Really. But the possibility, and this will sound New Agey, and I say it must be, but, you forgive me, I'm an American, and that is, the possibility is that a critical mass of souls will start generating a high frequency of energy and start planting the seed around them. Like that, like the 100th monkey thing, which who cares about that if it's true or not? I don't care. I like the metaphor. Then around you, that's why I say that prayer. My intent is to be surrounded by beautiful souls who are shedding the hugest light. My intent would be to be around the huge teachers. I'm the little student. Everywhere I go, I'm surrounded by huge masters. Then I'm feeling, oh, please teach me, please teach me. There's no reason that can't happen in America. There's no reason. Except the openness to the chance, the openness to it.
Wait, Swami Kaleshwar. Go ahead, Swami Kaleshwar.
Swami Kaleshwar is a soul who's been on the planet for 27 years. He was born in southern India. He was a strange child, but not a supernatural child in most ways, although there were supernatural events that happened around him. But at the age of 14, he had the awareness of supernatural energies suddenly become remembered or realized.
Supernatural, I don't think people understand what that means.
The God energies, for instance, all of the things that we call miracles are nothing more than the perception of energy that's always present. Reading minds, stilling minds, healing bodies, seeing the angels, seeing the future, reading past lives, traveling in your soul to other places and times. This all exists right now. It's just energy. It's just being able to vibrationally focus your awareness in that way.
Right, so there's a polarity then. He's a supernatural being, yet he's a human. He's
Absolutely.
So how do you see these two coming together, and how is it not confusing for other people?
It's absolutely confusing. You could say that if this planet is a finishing school, it's a tough place to be. It's like a boot camp because of the paradox of duality, form holding the formless. Each of us is actually that, form holding the formless. And Swami Kaleshwar, in my life, is the highest manifestation of the formless actually being held in the form. For instance, think about your great loves in your life. Then how many moments in your great loves are you able to really manifest just the pure love in the form versus we get bogged down in the personality and the wants and the rights and the wrongs and the control. These are form. Then bringing that into the point where the love seems to be lost. Then Swami Kaleshwar is embodying the high formless energies in the form. Then in the form, there's an obligatory personality. I'm talking about the human form. There's an obligatory body. It appears to be 5 toes, 5 fingers, like that. There's obligatory eating, bodily functions, breathing. Although it's not so obligatory, and there can be a command on those obligations. But everything is energy. If I'm using the supernatural energies to completely command of the form, then I'm using my energy like that. So, for instance, walking on water. Then I'm commanding on the elements. I'm using all that energy. I don't know what it takes, actually. I have no idea what it takes. And my understanding is, why don't these supernatural beings, of which Kaleshwar is just one, the planet has many. I don't know of any other than Kaleshwar, personally, in my own experience. I know some names that I've heard of, I've seen, but he's the one I know. Then why aren't they doing that all the time? Well, my own feeling is because it takes so much of their energy to do that in a way it's a selfish thing to do. Like, they could be broadcasting the energy out and actually touching 100 souls, or they could be walking on water, like that. But sometimes, especially in the West, he says directly, the West must have miracles to believe. The West, the mind in the West, and the Western mind, by the way, is the big mind in controlling the physical world. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm so happy for my Western mind. I love my cell phone so much. I love my laptop. I love. But it's not God. It's not. It is God, but it's not. It does include God, but it's not the higher vibrations. Then he says the miracles are necessary to convince that mind, the mind that has dominated the planet and can manipulate the physical world in ways that are astounding and getting even more astounding, including the physical body. That mind must have the miracles in order to believe enough that there's a possibility of these things to give it a chance, to give it a try. Because the person, the mind that's been opened even a crack by a miracle, will perhaps give a chance to using another tool. For instance, let's say I'm a sculptor, I'm an artist, and in a way all of us are artists creating reality. Then I don't believe there's no medium besides clay and stone. There's no medium, period. That is reality. And somebody comes along and says, hey, you should try using this brush and this color. Are you crazy? No way. No way. Actually, it's a better analogy of the way. If I'm a two-dimensional painter, if I'm a painter, then all I know is that. I know the contrast of colors on one surface in one dimension. This is actually better. Then a teacher comes along and says, look at this stone. You can make the same picture in that stone. It's even truer. No, it's not possible. Look here's a chisel. You try. Then, are you crazy? No way. I've never seen a sculpture before. I've never seen it. I've never dreamed of it. Or maybe I've dreamed of it, but I didn't know what it was. It was too crazy. Then they bring and they show me a beautiful sculpture. Three-dimensional, different angles, everything about it is so beautiful. I see that I could paint any point of view of it, but I couldn't paint every point of view of it. So Swami's doing the same thing. He's saying, hey, your brushes are great, your colors are great, but here's a little chisel and a hammer. Here's another tool. Here's a little rock. You try this. You try this. You touch this. You hold this. You smooth this. You work with that. Then you see, what's your experience of that?
So is it possible for the whole planet to live on the level that Swami lives? What would that look like? How would that be?
I think it would be, Swami Kaleshwar has said directly that the cycle of karma, meaning the cycle of suffering, is unending. Birth, life, and death. That it's just the nature of God's creation. So if I would sit here and say, yes, we can transform this realm in one life, in one generation into light. I don't know that it's true. I have to say, I don't think it's true. I don't know if it's true. But it might be beautiful to try. And my own feeling, again, now you're getting into my beliefs. He doesn't talk like this, he talks in Sanskrit sound bites. And is that by doing our own process of ascension, we allow space for new souls to be created and to come into that experience. And then that way we create the space for the expansion of God. Because one thing that Swami Kaleshwar says is that each of us is a seed of God. And through our own awareness growing, God itself grows.
What's the process of ascension?
Growing your awareness your awareness grows to include higher and higher states of vibration. I want to say one thing. About the New Age movement. Can I say? Are you on?
Please,
okay.
yeah.
And that question is a beautiful question, what is the end result? Then one of the big mistakes we make in the West, and there's a huge spiritual longing in the West, and that's evidenced by the billions of dollars that people throw into what we call the New Age movement, and the very beautiful people who are spending their lives going in that way. But I think there's one major mistake, and I don't mean mistake in a judgmental way, but I mean in a pragmatic way. Hey, let's find success. Each of us here, let's go to God today. Why not? What are we waiting for? Then, this is my advice, and that is, okay, we can play in the realm of what will happen when 1 billion souls does something. We can play in that kind of illusion of some fantasy future. But my advice is, if we do that, we're still sitting at the bottom of the mountain. We can think so much about the top of the mountain. Oh, it'll be so beautiful. Oh, I'll be able to see so far that way. The glaciers, the sky, the sunrises. But I haven't left the mountain. When I start, I have to actually find the path. Then I have to figure out how to put one foot in front of the other. I actually have to figure out how to walk up that mountain. Swami Kaleshwar is talking almost exclusively about how to walk up that mountain. He doesn't talk so much about what the top of the mountain is. And that is one of the things that attracts me as a scientist. And I don't want to call myself a scientist, but I think I have to, so much to him, because he's given me something I can use today. And I appreciate that so much.
What is that? What has he given you? What has he given you step by step that you use today?
Well, my process was taking one workshop with him, learning the 5 elements, learning the vibrations, the experience in awareness of the 5 vibrations that go into making up all the knowable universe in the physical, emotional, and mental energy bodies. Then that was a 6-month process for me. He didn't tell me anything about God. We hardly talked about healing at all. I'm so happy that he treated me so childishly. He said, do this, and you see me later, period. Then I'm so grateful that I was able to do that. I don't know why I did that. It made no sense, but I did. Then that expanded my awareness in ways that I could not conceive of. If he tried to describe to me what my awareness was going to be like, then I'm lost, and I'm in fairyland. No, he gave me some pragmatic tools. He said, figuratively speaking, he said, okay, he didn't even talk about a mountain. He didn't talk about God. My first workshop, there was very little God. It was, these are experiences of energy which are very, very divine and healing. Then he's implying God, but he's not describing God. Then he's saying, in terms of the mountain, you walk to that tree, and you turn right. Then you go 50 steps up the hill, then you sit down and you wait for me. Literally. He didn't say there's any mountain to come.
With these elements.
I'm talking figuratively. That was, you do this mantra in Sanskrit, you memorize it, you sit down, you face a certain direction. You have certain elements around you. You say it so many times, at a certain time of day, period. This is some symptoms you might have, you might not. It's okay. You do your maximum best. Whatever you have is fine.
How does he know this? How does he know what to do? I mean, how does he, where is he getting...
How do you know how to read?
I don't know.
You were taught the alphabet.
So
You mastered that.
How did he learn this? Swami?
His master.
And talk about that. I mean, who was his master and how did he...
In the supernatural energies, every soul at a certain stage, well, actually, to learn anything anywhere, who learns by themselves? No soul learns anything without being taught. It's the nature of experience in human form. We're taught and then we practice.
Yet we're also hardwired for learning. You know, there's an innate...
That's karmic
mechanism.
programming.
Yeah,
Some
so-
people learn better than others.
But we're all hardwired for language, most of us. So there's like...
Karmic programming.
uh-huh.
All karmic programming. Definitely every soul has learned and been taught and practiced, period. Then is another thing about the New Age movement that I see and I say, hey, stop, stop, stop. And that is, what are you waiting for? Practice, just like you would practice anything.
Practice what?
Whatever the tools are. Go to the workshops, fine. But if you're going to the workshop for the experience and you're going for an initiation, okay, great. Then it's like taking a drug. It's nice, but the morning you wake up, you have a little hangover, and you're no different. But if you go and somebody teaches you, hey, do this, do this, do this, then you see for yourself. Then do it. So Swami Kaleshwar has been taught in lifetimes just as we're being taught in lifetimes. His master in this lifetime is a supernatural soul that is called Shirdi Baba, Shirdi Sai Baba, which was a soul in form last.
Can we just get that over, just really clear?
Yeah.
His
Yes.
master was...
Swamiji Kaleshwar's master is a supernatural soul, meaning a soul that's not in human form in this moment, that I'm aware of, that was last in form in 1918, died in 1918, and the name is Shirdi Sai Baba. Then this master, this soul, is his teacher in this life. Teacher meaning opening channels, pointing in directions, giving clues, giving advice, giving energy, which is the way we treat each other as teacher-student.
Right. Okay.
Hey, is this ever going to be seen by anyone?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but it might be.
I don't care, actually. It's much easier to talk about myself than it means that it's more of an illusion. Talking about Kaleshwar, Shirdi Baba, supernatural energies, healing, God, so difficult. We're always being diverted. So now I can speak very linearly, and it makes much more sense to you. Then, in my life, I had the strong, brief experiences of something that was different, but I had no idea what that was. When I'm small, for instance, when I'm 5, 6 years old, there was a time when I was experiencing something, and I thought everyone experienced it. And I'm asking, like my mother, I'm seeing something, like I'm seeing the air, like the air itself. I'm seeing something between us. What is that? She doesn't know. She's not able to give me that. It's not part of her experience. Then, okay, it doesn't exist. Then it's wonderful for me to look back and understand how belief works and perception. Then another experience, like maybe 2 years later, where I'm going to sleep in my bed, and I had an experience of remembering coming into form, and I remembered the process. And then it was so confusing, and again I'm calling my mother, I'm saying, why did I choose to come into this? I didn't know what to say. I said, why am I me? That's the way I said it as a 7-year-old child. I said, why am I me and not someone else? And what I didn't mean is I'm special. What I meant was, there was a moment when I could have come into any form. Like I could have been that black man. I could have been that Indian woman. I could have been that tiger. Then why this? There's no answer. Okay, then it must not be real. Okay, it doesn't exist. Then I'm karmically programming. Then in my teenage years, I had the huge adolescent crisis, which is so common, but I know now that that's actually a strong symptom of a spiritual life. The strong adolescence, you know. And actually all of the addictions, all of those kinds of things, those are the spiritual longing souls. And that was brief. Okay. Then fear is such a strong part of my karmic programming in this life. Okay, I've got to go to college. Okay, I'm going. Then in college, I'm just ripe for the picking, you know. Boom, boom, boom. I have the strong mind. I can do well. Reputation. How do you combat fear? Reputation, money. Those are the two big ways we do it in America. So, okay, boom. I'm going to college. I'm doing this. I found myself in medical school. In one way, I know it's because I'm a healer in this life, but also it's because it was easy. In my mind, it was like, hey, there's nothing easier than this. Okay, I'm doing it. Then in medical school, so simple, but I'm starting to feel some heavy suffering. I didn't know it at the time, heavy suffering. And that was a longing for healing that I couldn't have put words into, but feeling its absence more than its presence. Then I'm noticing in medical school, and then in my residency, in my internship in my residency, I'm noticing that I'm feeling the experience of healing in the most strange places. First of all, it can happen in a way that's unexpected. Like, there's no sickness. You know, somebody's, you know, it seems like a relatively mundane moment, and then suddenly like that. Or at the birth of a baby, all the babies, then there's unbelievable healing happening. And it doesn't have to do, it wasn't the way my mind would look at it. It was
Healing meaning what? How do you describe
meaning the heart opening. Joy, happiness. Also, when people are dying, it's like that. The moment of death, there's a huge release of energy, you know? Or in extreme, like, for instance, in a trauma room, I did my medical school in Houston, Texas. I spent a lot of time in a county hospital there. And on the weekend nights, there would be dozens of real trauma coming in, gunshot wounds and knife wounds and things like that. Then, in the midst of that, I felt, and whether or not there was an outcome that looked good, I felt strong energies, like the ground of illusion was thinning.
God, the presence of God.
Yeah, the presence of God. So it made no sense. Certainly, like, we would all agree that these horrible things, we don't want those things to happen. So anyway, basically I'm going to sleep deeper and deeper into the dream of the planet during that time in my life. Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. It was my karma. Then I went to my residency. I did my training. Then I'm going more and more strongly towards what is consensually agreed upon as right and good, and that is success in the worldly way. So that means reputation, and that means money.
But what woke you up, spiritually? Before Swami?
Then what woke me up was the experience of having all of that by the age of 32, and realizing without any doubt, in one instant, I'll never forget that moment, realizing that there was nothing more for me to obtain with the awareness that I had, that more money would make no difference, more reputation, prestige would make no difference, and that I was so miserable that I couldn't imagine another 30 years of life. And the existential angst of that experience was unbearable because it made no sense to anyone around me.
And what did you turn to?
I turned to Swami Kaleshwar. Hello, Swami.
You're so tired, huh?
No, I'm so happy.
I will show you. No, I'm fine. Just, no, it's fine.
How are you doing?
Great. Now I had to jump on the big tantric, the Krishna tantric. The tons of flowers and big art. Takes me huge time to make.
Do you need this area?
No.
We're talking to Clint here. What do you think is the most important thing he should say about you?
Oh, you're entering things, huh?
It's fun. No, really. No, but it's...
It's the right time, right moment. You're catching this guy. Background flowers.
Yeah.
What a beautiful scenery. You see that side?
Mm-hmm.
Sparkles with the flowers.
What do you think as far as...
What do you mean?
As far as pulling the whole thing together,
It-
as far as learning,
Yes, I'm teasing. I love you so much, that's right. You gave permission to me to tease you as much as I can.
yeah, of course.
It's done.
Oh my God, that's on camera too. You have record now.
That's fine, no problem.
No, it's because it's for me to learn, you know. It's,
I love you so much. It's a good hard work, like a lot of remembrance to bring it. They have their family and they're watching how I'm drawing
Yeah,
the ancient yantra.
yeah.
I can't draw with seeing like that
No,
because of
it's for the Japanese only. I think it's.
I think everybody heard the cancelling.
Yes.
why did you ask Clint to be your personal doctor?
What do you mean?
You chose him for a very special reason.
He's a complete spiritual heart. He has a beautiful spiritual heart. I have a lot of darkness in my life. He's been through a lot of what we call a lot of experiences in this real life. So he can choose what is good, what is bad. He will. Is it true?
Yes, it's true, Swami.
And a very pure heart and pure mind.
That's why I gave an answer to him. Now I hope he's happy.
Absolutely.
Is it true?
It's a huge boon in my life, Swami. Big present.
What do you think he needs to learn more?
What do you mean?
Well, you're working with him to become something, but what is it that you see him becoming?
I want to see him as a real master.
What would that look like?
Like really helping a lot of people in spirituality, huge. I seen capability in him. Won't be any problem.
You put a great trust in him when you left your body. He described that very powerfully.
I have complete faith on him. Complete.
But you saw something on a much deeper level that maybe he himself wasn't aware of, because
What do you mean?
well, he didn't know. I mean, I got the sense that he didn't know he was.
Done? 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your pleasure, Swami?
No, I'm here until to evening 6:37. By 7:30, 8 o'clock, we will meet in Shirdi Baba temple.
We should go.
Yeah, the Shokan and somebody's Takita,
Yeah.
they are also there in somewhere photo. You also bring them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we meet you too? Or you want
Yes.
to do
8 p.m.
Everybody.
everybody to Shirdi Baba?
7:30, 8 to until the late of night.
Yeah.
Bring your little snacks there, water bottle, be there. At any time I will come, try to meditate there. Pay a little money to the gods, they'll make you to stay there. You can use the safari and the 2 ambassadors is there.
Thank you.
Fine, no problem. Where is the Germans? Tatya and
Oh, they're not.
Tatya and Bhutto are
Bhutto
sick.
are a little sick.
both
No,
are sick,
just get
mentally
another
or
take. Keep
physically?
it rolling, but
I
keep
think
rolling.
they're getting better. Yesterday their fever.
Then Gaia and the
Michelle.
two- yeah, Michelle and Laura, I think they went to the Humpy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But about Clint here, I'm just saying you saw something in Clint that he wasn't aware of, and you brought out, you brought him to the focus. Anyway, do you want to talk about it?
Again, I will give beautiful explanation
Okay.
on him. I mean, the
I
little
know
beauty.
you. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, that's okay.
Take care,
Thank
guys. By
See you
7:38.
later. That's all right.
I tune into that type of vision in myself and see that type of God in just everyone.
Another
The more
way,
that someone like that appears, it
Yes.
teaches me and takes me forward.
uh-huh.
Instead of
Another way to describe Swami Kaleshwar, he's the most clear mirror you can ever see yourself in. He said, I once asked him, what's happening to me? You know, the mind is always struggling for the definitions and explanations. And he said, you're becoming a mirror, a clearer and clearer mirror for others. Then I'm thinking on that, I'm realizing then he's telling me what he is, that he is the most beautiful mirror. And we all love him so much, but we're really seeing that aspect of ourselves, that divine aspect of ourselves. Then the humility, you know, we could go so many ways, but I have to say that if you want to write one huge word on your wall that you never forget, that you're reminded in every room of your psychic house, it would be humility. If you ever have a choice between victory and defeat, and I don't mean this I mean this in the most spiritually metaphoric way, and that is surrender. Like Rilke said, the purpose of life is to be defeated by greater and greater things. You know, ultimately, we want to be defeated by God itself, herself, like that. So,
with awareness, those defeats
Absolutely.
keep us growing.
absolutely. Well, surrender is defeat where we understood victory. We let victory go in order to hold something else.
Rilke also said every angel's terrible. So
Hey.
those sisters, the ones that assist. Yeah.
Hey,